Dun, 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 dun. Yeah! Yeah! Saga Live!
Saga Live!
Is the microphone's over there. It was there this morning, but now it's there. It was there during my conditioning workshop. Now it's there. Ha ha ha.
Last time it was there.
Last time it was there for Abra and she lost her marbles.
I never had many to begin
with. Alright, so we're definitely officially kicking it off now. If you'd like to get started with us, just make sure you have some water nearby maybe. Make sure you're in whatever comfortable workout clothes you got, whether those are pajamas or...
I mean, if you're alone and you're doing it naked, you know, no judgment.
Whoa!
Just saying.
We do want to see pictures and video of people performing the curriculum,
yes.
But that's...
we wouldn't want to see those pictures.
We are not inviting those pictures into our home
now.
No. Those are non-consensual...
Those are private.
Yeah, private.
For you.
Yeah.
For you.
Okay, so here we go. Let's get started. We're going to start with our top-down check-in. So let's just get our heads moving, get our necks moving, whatever works best for you. I like to say that all the time because I've learned many different things from many different people. And one of the favorite things I ever learned is that when it comes to warming up, you know your body better than anybody.
Exactly.
But we can all take this principle of checking in from the top down just so that we always remember all these different parts of our body. So if I go from my head and neck into my shoulders, I can shrug up and release it. We can look super goofy together. We can pull back, make sure that we're stretching the back, crush forward with the chest, roll it through a little bit, warm up those shoulders, that back, that chest all together. We can extend the arms out, bring them across our body. Maybe do some crazy figure eights.
Ooh,
crazy eights. Crazy 88s. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. We're making this up as we go. Oh yeah. We're like one horrible Rick and Morty skit. Okay.
Oh no.
Uh-huh. We can go out with these big circles. You can go big circles backwards. Again, I'm flexing the fingers and pushing out the palms so that I feel the full stretch all the way from my fingertips into my back and chest.
You want that tension.
Tension is good if it's intentional. Hold those crane beaks. Other way around, stretching out the forearms. We're definitely going to be using those with the stick tonight.
Sticks.
All the sticks.
Not all.
I'm going to pull my arm across my chest and bring my shoulder down and go the other way and do the same thing. I'm going to thread my fingers together, stretch out forward, raise it up over my head, slowly release and bring it down. Bring my fingers together behind me, pull them up, look straight, and bounce just a little bit. All these are different exercises. I don't always do the exact same thing every time I warm up. I'm really just checking my body. All right, go to the chest, start moving that around at the waist. Abra was doing a kind of cool thing. She was like,
Just working my shoulders. I can feel some built up stuff in there.
Whee! Break it all apart. Put it all back together. Into your hips when you're ready to go. Again, we're just doing that little hula dance. Back the other way. All right. And again, the thing that I always like to do, skiers, I like to shoot my butt back, my hands back with it, and come back up. Keep it going. Just a couple more times. Really working that hip hinge, focusing on developing that feeling of that deadlift posture and using the hips to come back up.
And then you can pretend that you're going down a hill.
Woo! Let's race. Woo! Okay, that was really dorky. We're dumb.
Yes, we are.
Okay, I'm going to bring my knee up to my chest. I'm going to try and knee myself in my chest. A little kung fu technique that preps for something called the heart-to-heart kick, where I kick myself in my chest and then I kick Abra in her chest. That's what I learned in kung fu a long time ago. But if you can start throwing that in there.
How does it compare to a chassé?
We'll go into that some other time. A chassé is like this. All right, different type of chassé. All right, let's bend at the knees.
We have Sammy Knight with us.
Hey, Sammy. Haven't seen you in a while. Bending at the knees, and when I bend at the knees, I can either keep my feet flat or I can come up off the heels onto the ball of the foot and rock forward a little bit into what Moonat calls a deep knee bend sit. Or something like that. Do you get your knees forward?
Hold up.
There you are. Almost there. That was the hardest one on the test for me. I wasn't there yet. I'm
It's
a little
hard
bit
not
more
to
there
let them
now.
drop, but you don't want to.
If you can get there, great. If you have trouble with that, develop it if you want, or don't. You don't have to. The whole point is that they're always able to kind of like hang out on the edge of their balance in this deep knee bend and then walk across things. I don't think I got that one on level 2. That looks pretty good.
My knees aren't as forward as they should be.
No, but you're doing a great job getting started. All right, we've warmed up the knees, the ankles, the rest of the body. Let's do those things where you like touch and go that way.
Sure.
I like seeing those when you do your conditioning. I'll step back a bit.
I usually do these, and so the stretch will not be as deep right now because we're still warming up.
You usually do that as a cool
As
down?
a cool down, but we can.
Oh, okay, you're reaching all the way to the side.
Yeah.
My difference with this one is to reach just to the center.
Oh yeah.
Kind of like that, I think Cameron Shane does that
Cameron
one?
Shane does it all the time.
Yeah, so we're just reaching to the center, and we're looking up at the other hand, stretching one leg a little bit more because we're going across our body, but also bending through it. So this is almost kind of like a total body stretch. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you want to like kick it up a little bit.
Kick it up a little bit?
Emerald. Okay, you can do these.
Do those? Okay.
Which
Why don't
is
we
a
just
little bit
swing
more-
into that?
They're a little bit more
Not hit each other in the face.
dynamic.
But we definitely want to get our legs going today because we're going to be doing a lot of movement and we want to stay nice and loose and warmed up. You should break just a hair of a sweat during your top-down check-in.
All right there.
And now that we're going to go into action flow, you're definitely going to get just a wee bit sweatier. So today's action flow, we're going to be focusing on the back fall building into it. We're not going to go immediately into a judo fall. We're not going to just slam Abra as hard as we can into the ground, even though she likes it. We're going to work on building it up. So Abra's going to demonstrate real quick her version of a back fall from that kind of rolling style version of it. So
Okay.
not just straight up pow. If you want to, you can. You can show off on camera anytime you want.
I don't know. We'll see.
I'm going to stand over here and get out of your way. Not bad. Don't hit the concrete.
It was just with my fingers.
So show us 3 of your back falls. Now don't do these just yet, everyone, unless you really are comfortable with them. We know Penelope can handle these.
Should I do back falls while I know?
No, let's just do these. We're just working on the back falls for today. Throw that back even harder into the ground. Tuck that chin.
My shin.
Good. So she's slapping out. The timing is always a little bit weird when you're self-motivating it.
Yeah.
I am still recovering from a neck injury, so I'm not going to throw myself super duper hard. But when we want to talk about doing a little bit of a build up to it, we're going to start by lowering ourselves to the ground and throwing our shoulder blades as best as we can to the ground. But the first thing that we can do is we can just go as low as possible and roll back and slap. And we train tucking the chin and doing that nice little candlestick thing up in the air, just so that we're training on keeping our tailbone and hips off the ground. This part is a little bit better designed than the little nub, your coccyx,
Yes.
at the end of the tailbone, is not designed to hit the ground very hard. Even doing that can be dangerous. So Abra's going to practice doing that little roll into it, and then we're going to talk about how you can play with that kind of as a rec flow concept. All right? She goes down. She goes down, and she goes down. Now, can you do that from standing again?
Yes, I can.
She goes down, she gets up. We'll talk about the get up in a second. She squats down, lowers and rolls.
That's a little bit
And
different.
it's good that you're bridging your hip. That's totally an option.
Sometimes though, especially if you are doing a back fall specifically, your feet will not necessarily be there right away. So it's good to know that. So if I am going to do the roll, and then bring it down.
Yeah, that's a nice little way to kind of come out of it as well. Like we were talking about before, kind of that like, what do we call that? The sprawl roll to break fall?
Break fall, yeah.
Something like that. So now what we're going to do is I'm just going to demo pushing Abra. Not hard. We're not going to do like the traditional stage combat push. I am going to give her a little bit to go off of. So she's just standing here with me. I just give her a bit, and instead of her falling directly to her back, she's going to lower her base and go towards the ground. So she's here, I push, she lowers herself, and she tucks her chin. That's the most important part, and then she slaps out. Make sure also anytime you're impacting the ground, you breathe out. That whole saying of the air got knocked out of my lungs is absolutely accurate, because if your lungs are full of air and you get hit in the chest in some way or hit in the back in some way, it's going to just squeeze out and it's going to actually hurt a lot. So breathe out. stunt people yell sometimes for good reasons. So I'm going to push Abra one more time. Good, and she crossed her leg back for the figure 4.
Do you want me to do it without it? Or?
You can do it with or without it. It's totally up to you. So as you're practicing this at home, what we want you to do is that when you see me push Abra, you just mentally vision someone, whether that's me or your worst enemy, giving you a little bit of a push, and you just go down from there. Watch your tailbone. Make sure you focus on going down and rolling out. So she's here. Good. So she'll do it to me a couple of times. We're going to build on it, add 2 more moves, and do a combo based off of some stuff that we've done before. So she pushes me, I lower, and I come back up. So you can see I can just rock and roll back up. Now, in order to keep my tailbone off the ground, I'm going to throw my shoulders down a little bit further ahead of the rest of my body. So she gives me that push, I lower, and then I come back up. She gives me that push, and I come back up. If you really want to practice that, keep your knees tucked, try and get your feet under you at that last second, and try and come up to your feet. If you can do that, you're very mobile.
If you did my conditioning workout, not yesterday, so the one before that, we were working actually a lot on that, so you have a little bit of experience with it.
Great ab workout, falling and getting back up.
Yes.
Speaking of which, Abra's now going to go into the back fall, roll forward. You want me to kick you? Okay. Abra asks for it. Abra's going to go into her back fall. She's going to roll forward, turn it into her tactical get up. Then you can just go into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just get up from your tactical get up.
Okay, just do it like that.
Right, so back fall roll, tactical get up. Boom. There you go. So just let's do 5 of these with her doing that, and then I'm going to add one more move to complete this combo for today. I kick her, she falls back, she plants, she comes back up. She runs back for more. 2, watch the floor, don't go too far. Try and transfer that energy from instead of backwards to down. 3, that was much better, much more controlled. She comes back one more time. 4. Stay present, stay present.
Half-ass slap.
Oh boy, come back, and 5. Very nice. So you can see she's just transferring that backwards momentum downwards to dissipate it into a different vertex. And then she's coming back up using the momentum of turning back over to turn it into her tactical get up. So now we're going to take that a step further. Abra's going to just push me. You kick me enough in the stomach as it is. She's going to push me. I'm going to fall back. Rock forward. Go into my tactical get up. But instead of a full tactical get up, I'm going to go into my sprawl. And then I'm going to do the sprawl roll. And we kind of figured out a fun way to sort of teach people how to do this without having that 1 foot forward. I'm going to rock back into this kind of like animal flow sort of position. Beast. It's kind of beast. And then when I push back, one of my arms is going to curl under me. And then I'm going to roll. So what you'll notice what's a little bit different about that is that both legs are extended as the roll occurs. So Abra, can you stand over here?
Yes, I can.
So this is the full combo for today, and if you like it, please try and find a way to do it at home on video and send it to us. We'd love to see it and possibly share it if you'd let us. So Abra gives me that little bit of a push. She's going to have to get out of the way after this. I go down, boom! I rock up to my tactical get up, drop out to my sprawl, sit back, push off, roll forward, boom, I'm a ninja. Wah! Ninjas don't make that sound because then they'll be hurt.
Yeah.
Abra, it's your turn to give it a try. Oh, okay. Hi-ya!
What were you expecting?
Spanish Inquisition.
No, we have accessibility.
Very nice, very nice. All right, now you go over there and you kick me.
I don't want to.
Well, push me.
Oh.
Wow! I went all the way through. But you see, even though I went all the way through, I go right back into that sprawl roll. I'm training myself to move out of any situation. So while that was kind of a flub up and a mistake, it was still based on instinct, and I still ended up where I needed to end up anyways, which, if you're going to do a stunt on film, better to complete the whole action than to stop and go like, well, I don't know what to do.
Never stop unless they call cut or you're injured.
Or you're like murdering somebody accidentally and you didn't mean to. Maybe.
Or somebody else is injured.
Yeah, let's just be safe. All right, so.
You know what I mean.
So again, last time, I'll do it right this time. Although I think that's a fun way of doing it. Abra gives me that push, I go down, I roll back. When I come forward, I scoop through, I throw myself back, I scoot back a little bit, I roll forward and through, and then I just get up, however I need to get up.
Basically what you did before is you added in an extra roll.
Well, I just continued the roll.
Yeah.
So instead of the half roll, which we were practicing from the beginning, I did the full back roll, landed my feet behind me, turned it into the sprawl roll, sprung forward, and got right back up. Which, honestly, watching that clip is probably the cooler and better thing anyways.
It is another fun thing to do.
So again, if you'd like to put a video together of you doing that combo and send it in, we'd love to share it with everybody. That is the goal for us moving forward with SAGA Action Arts in these classes. We want to see content from you. We are tired of just posting things of ourselves.
Seriously.
I miss posting things of my clients, students, friends, and community. We want to get you guys back on the IG.
We are not that narcissistic.
Well, she is. She had to make this workout show where she told me it had to be called hero conditioning.
Oh yeah, that was all me.
That was all her. She was like, I can't be afternoon condition. Okay, Brett's telling us to move on. All right.
I was also just really annoyed.
Let's get the mat off the ground. I'll get the mat. You can throw on your gloves because it takes you 6 hours to put them on anyways.
Yeah.
And we theoretically could keep using this mat right now, but I still don't trust it that much. But we added some sticky tabs to it from a dollar store. There's a nice little solution there if you're ever looking at something like that. We literally just duct taped some placemat tabs underneath to keep it from sliding as much, but every once in a while, I still fall on my face. Excuse me, I need to put this down. Stunts. Real quick, I'm gonna hold the mitts. You're gonna review at home the combos for 1 through 9 for the S series. This is our striking arts section. Striking arts primarily consists of the S series, but in a couple of weeks, we'll probably be adding in some other techniques that you can work at home to help improve your conditioning for more combo work and different types of strikes. In the S series, we primarily start with the jab, cross, and the hook because those are the 3 most common punches you're going to throw, whether that's in a real fight or if that is in a combat sport or in choreography.
And as a note, again, the S series is just a basic template, a foundation. So when we throw other things at you, which we will do, you can add them on top of the S series.
It can become a really fun formula to play with, and we'll start breaking into how you can do that very shortly. But let's get you through the entire combo. So you're going to be in Abra's position. You're going to be hitting the mitts. We're going to go through the whole series 3 times. I'm going to call out the number, and Abra's going to call out the moves. So I call 1.
Jab. Rear kick.
2.
Cross. Knee kick.
3.
Rear kick. Jab.
4.
Knee kick. Cross.
5.
Jab. Knee kick.
5.
Jab. Knee kick.
6.
Cross. Rear kick.
7.
Knee kick. Jab.
8.
Rear kick. Hook. Cross.
And 9.
Knee kick. Cross. Hook.
All right. Now let's go on the other side so that everybody can see Abra from this side. Ready? 1.
Jab. Rear kick.
2.
Cross. Knee kick.
3.
Rear kick. Jab.
4.
Knee kick. Cross.
5.
Jab. Knee kick.
6.
Cross. Rear kick.
7.
Knee kick. Jab.
8.
Rear kick. Hook. Cross.
And 9.
Knee kick. Cross. Hook.
8 and 9 are going to be really important today, so definitely study up on those. One more time, I'm going to stand over here so that you can see Abra kind of from the front. So Brett, I'm not blocking her, right?
You're good.
All right, ready? 1.
Jab. Rear kick.
Stay a little bit on that angle. 2.
Cross. Kick.
Good. 3.
Rear kick. Jab.
We're kind of doing this weird stack angle, so her punches and kicks might look a little bit off, but I want you to be able to see her body mechanics. Her pivots are really good. 4.
Knee kick. Cross.
Very nice. 5.
Jab. Knee kick.
6.
Cross. Rear kick.
7.
Knee kick. Jab.
Now this is where the pivots really come into play. 8.
Rear kick. Hook. Cross.
And 9.
Knee kick. Cross. Hook.
See that tight pivot on that hook? It's gorgeous. Really good work. All right, I'm gonna throw my gloves on. We're gonna do the defensive set.
And make one note there too, before we get into that. If you are able to do pad work with a partner, that is awesome. Try to get to a point where you're not looking at the pads themselves. Try to look at your partner or at their chest, not at the actual pads.
And if you have any questions, please ask them, but we designed the S-Series to really be as simple as possible. It is one of the simplest drills ever created. I'm not gonna hide that fact. But when you build on it, it can go a lot of places. And I've had great teachers who have inspired me to do things like that, like Grandmaster Felix Cortez with his the C template.
Oh, yeah.
The C template. Why? Wow. Sorry, Felix. The C template. For some reason, I wanted to call it the F template. The F template's with two sticks.
I was thinking
yeah. The C template. No, I know what you're talking about, but the C template is really great. If you want to learn from somebody awesome online, hit up Felix Cortez. You're going to learn a lot about stick fighting, way more than I ever could teach you.
Tell him who sent you.
Sure. Okay. So, Abra throws.
My one.
And I catch, block. She throws.
2.
And I parry, and I block.
3.
Block, catch,
4.
block, parry.
5.
Catch, block,
6.
parry, block.
7.
Block, catch. So now we're going to go into 8 and 9. And then we'll do 3 sets of that. So now that we've worked our way up to it, let's go into 8 and 9. When Abra throws her rear kick, I'm blocking. When she throws her lead hook, now this is what it is for a mitt. If you try and block a hook that's out of range with your hand for no reason, I don't have words. I just don't have words. So what we're doing instead is we're creating the whole point of the S-Series Defense Series, especially if you're a performing artist, is to give you this sense of movement provocation. When she throws that jab, I'm moving off the line. I'm giving that Jackie Chan energy of, oh snap, that thing was going to hit me. Now, if she throws that rear kick, that's in my distance. But if she throws that hook from right there, it's so far away, I don't really have anything necessarily to react to. But I still could at least get my reps in those reactions. So let's do it exactly like that. She throws that rear kick. She throws that hook. I'm going to fade back. I like to call it a bob. Albert likes to call it a sway. We'll just call it a fade for right now. What I'm doing is that when she throws that kick, I'm planting my energy into that block. When she throws that hook, I'm planting my energy into that rear foot the same way that we were moving the head for the knife defense drills in CQC. So I'm weighting my back leg, and I need to bring my hands up to guard. I haven't been doing that just yet because I want you to focus on the face, but I'm pulling away from that hook. Now, if she was going to actually reach for me, there would be something practical here. So she throws that kick, she reaches for my head, and I'm moving out of the way. So that's the basic defense, is that from that high line attack, she throws that kick, boom, I move out of that way. Now, we're going to skip ahead for just a principle of this, but if I don't move and I get hit, I can at least still cover. So if my hands are up, she throws that kick, boom, I cover. I don't know, you can go for it a little bit. Just land right on it. She kicks, boom, I cover. She's landing there, and at least I've got my guard up. So do try and have your cage on your face. A face cage is a good thing to have in this case. So she throws, a face cage is a good thing to have in this case. She throws that kick, boom, I sway back. Now she's about to throw that cross to complete her 8. So hold that hook. She throws that cross, and I parry and I move out of the way. So rear kick, hook, cross. Now I'm going to step a little bit further back just to make sure that you all can see my feet, but Brett's doing a great job of framing it. I really want you to pay attention. We're going to go in slow motion, okay? A little bit of bullet time for me, all right? She throws that kick. Boom! I'm planted. She throws that hook. I'm still planted. She throws that cross. I push off and move. That's the movement provocation we're trying to create. We're actually creating a little bit of a quarter or half beat for us to play with. So she throws that rear kick. Boom, she throws that hook. I'm out of the way, and I need to move again. So it's bump, ba-bump. Bump, bump, bump. They're connected. And that was the whole point of why we developed the 8 the way that we developed the 8. We didn't want to lose a beat by having her have to recover to this punch off the rear after a rear kick. Unless you're like firing that into a Superman, which could come later, there's just not a lot of ways to time a rear kick into a rear punch and not change your lead. So now let's talk about 9. 9 is the exact same thing as 8, only it's a little bit reversed. She throws that lead kick, I block. She now throws that cross, I parry off the line. I am now set perfectly into range for her to turn and throw that hook at me, and I sway back. She throws that lead kick, boom. She throws that cross, I parry off the line, boom, and now I'm back. One more time, I really love how this one turned out. Again, it wasn't a plan, I just put the moves together and I liked how they looked, and that's how I designed the system. She fires that lead kick, boom, she fires that cross. I can put myself in what I like to call the danger zone so that we can create that moment of drama after a successful block, putting ourselves back into danger, thus making the fight more suspenseful. I don't know if you have any things to say about that, but suspense! Oh, like that show on the radio. Suspense! Anyways, so number 8. Let's just go through this one more time. She fires the rear kick. She fires the hook. I bob back. Boom. And then I parry. She fires the 9. I block. I parry. I bob. Pulling my shoulders up to protect my chin. Crunching in. Getting off that line. Even if I'm not moving my feet, I'm still moving my upper body. It'll give me a chance to throw a counter if I want, but that's for another day. We're going to wrap this up real quick. Let's go through all 9 defenses. This is a 9 series combination. A 9 combo series.
Did you want
Brett's telling us to go. Let's just go.
Okay.
1. Catch, block. 2. Parry, block. 3. Block, catch. 4. Block, parry. 5. Catch, block. 6. Parry, block. 7. Block, catch. 8. Block, bob, parry. 9. Block, parry, bob. Again, the real secret sauce here is the footwork. And once you start matching your footwork with your partner, you're really going to create some very dynamic fighting skills to put on stage or screen or even have in a real sport combative situation. I'm not going to necessarily say self-defense reality stuff, but I think it might help.
For your hook, in that case, just, actually aim for them, don't keep it here. Go for them.
In this case, we're still keeping the short hook for safety, allowing you to get the reps in, allowing your partner to also get their reps in, and besides which, as we discussed in one of the first videos, do a 9. Boom, boom, boom. It could totally be that stacked angle for that cell. And that's another part of the secret sauce of the S series. So let's take our gloves off and let's move into step work.
Next time we'll do exchanges.
Exchanges, but we had to get through 8 and 9 today.
Yes, we did.
Sorry, folks, you're just going to have to watch more episodes. Like and subscribe. Ah! I dropped my glove.
Don't drop your glove.
No glove, no love.
Exactly.
Our wall of weapons grows and grows and grows. Brett, should we just show them this amazing wall of weapons?
Breast.
Our sound blanket's in the way. We've still been trying to improve the sound quality. Don't knock the microphone over. Did that help at all? All right, great.
We have a wall of weapons, so we'll just have to see it.
Some of our cool gear from S&R Tactical.
S&R Tactical.
They're really tactical. And you can see this baton in the baton fight that Abra and I just released on YouTube that Brett shot, and he did a killer job of capturing our action. We've got a couple of other fun things to play with, and we'll be going back into those weapons configuration later. We gave you some samples in the first 3 sessions. We want to finish up single stick now, and then we'll be going back into double stick and 2-handed weapon in the future.
And even single-handed sword.
Just
like a
basically stick.
It's like a stick, but it's sharp.
Sticks can be sharp.
It has a blade.
You ever been poked by a sharp stick?
Anyway.
All right. So now we're going to review angles 1 through 9 on the offense and attacking. We're going to prep, and we're going to do this 3 times. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I lessened my footwork a bit.
Yes, you did.
Good job, Abra. Ready? But the fact is that you can do all these cuts with less footwork.
You can.
You should just train the footwork first. Unless your brain process is just doing the angles first better. Either way, here we go. And now when you're watching Abra, try and also think about these lines, since we made this amazing board for $5,000 and hung it right there.
Doesn't say blue tape on it. Anyway, let's go.
Ready, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And one more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You should be getting more comfortable with flowing through all 9 numbers without forgetting which angle comes next. Again, everything has a sway back and forth with the body until you get to 7, at which point 8 and 9 have that little saber sway as well.
And if you want, you might notice that Dylan was crossing his feet.
Oh, did I do that on this one?
You did.
I did a little bit? Yeah. The cross step on the 8 is another option that we'll get into, especially when we get into the action template, but that's going to come a little bit later. Typically, we might teach that earlier, but because it's so aesthetically driven for the student, we really need to be able to watch you. So once we start teaching that, we're going to need you guys to start submitting your own videos. It's the only way we're going to be able to help you.
But it also does help with that drive back too.
Oh yeah, no, that the cross step footwork, like Brian Stoops has taught us from the Illustrissimo systems that he teaches out of, is super duper helpful. Also LeMaco. So, all right, moving on. We're going to go back to the defenses. Abra's going to attack me, and I'm going to do the blocks. So for 1, meet in the middle. For 2, meet in the middle. Again, there's defenses, but for right now, we're just doing escape cut defenses. 3, meet in the middle. 4, meet in the middle. Notice how that, because we're pulling our hips away at the end of each strike, we're pulling ourselves out of the danger just a little bit. She throws that cut. We're both kind of out of that range now. We're not just swinging the arm and just staying right here. By turning that head out and keeping our eyes on our opponent, we're presenting a defensive side. 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4 one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it one more time without you hitting the laptop.
That is my laptop.
That is your laptop, your
Yes.
brand new laptop. Ready?
Well, it's old, but yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you don't have a partner at home, just imagine one of us or somebody else throwing those strikes at you, and you're just beating them out of the way. Let's go into 5, 6, and 7. Abra's going to cut angle 5. Again, that's to my hip. So I'm going to do my little wristwatch wing block. Boom, and I block. She's going to come back around the other way for 6. I'm going to flip my stick over with that abanico, pointing the stick tip up to the sky. Hand is now vertically oriented. And then when she goes into 7, she's going to prep. As she thrusts at me, I throw my foot back, and I close that line with the abanico back down on the outside of my body, rather than bringing it across. So 5, block, 6, block, 7, swing that leg out. If you have a partner, develop your timing. One more time with this. 5, 6, 7. We really like to create dynamic movement with this. So if Abra steps a little bit further back, and she don't necessarily do a drive, but add a little bit of length to your intent. 5, 6, 7. We can play it just a little bit bigger. Or we can play super duper tight. 5, 6, 7. It's up to you to start developing that width of the range. We're not going to be playing with that whole, like, if she holds the stick vertical, we're not going to be playing with that fork to foible sort of thing. We want to be able to get closer. So when she throws that 5 at me, I could be right here. She throws a 6 at me, I could be right here. She throws a 7 at me, I could be right in her range. And it's because of those preps and those pivots that we're able to illustrate the danger just a little bit more significant. Moving on, let's do the blocks for 8 and 9. Abra just fired her 7. She's going to whip it around over her head for her 8. I'm going to punch up. This flat block is the 5 in the SAFD. Same thing for here.
Roof block. Basically.
Roof block. So I'm just raising the roof is what I like to say.
It's also putting intention behind it.
Stand over there so that they can see what I'm up to. A little bit over there. Throw that 7 at me. Boom. Now I land. She goes into her 8. Boom. I punch up. So I'm not just wiping a window in a weird way. I'm not painting the fence. I'm also pushing up and out a little bit from my body. I don't want to push too far, and I don't want to push with just my hand. I need to hold that stick on a firm line, and I need to make contact. When it's a stick, this is totally cool. If you're going blade to blade and you're worried about shattering your blade, there might be different techniques, but for stick fighting, let's do it this way. So Abra throws that 7, boom, she throws that 8, boom, I block. From here I can go into whatever else I need to. Also, alternatively, keep this in mind, we were talking about how some of the defensive strikes can also be offensive strikes. If she, let's say she slowly throws that 8. So you go to 7, you slowly throw that 8, I move it out of the way, I can use this as a punch with the stick. I could also just punch with my fist. You could also create kind of like a short, shallow 6 with it. But that power is almost the same as throwing a punch. It's not a light weighting defense. She's firing that 8 at me, and I'm doing my Soul Calibur sort of like, bing, moving forward, offensive block.
You're transferring it.
We're transferring it through. So, one more time with 7. She goes into 8. She swings it all the way through on her skate cut. And again, this is just for the form. She could do a short if she was doing just an 8 out of its own 8-ness. When she cuts up for the 9, I do the exact same thing, but on the downward angle. So I'm punching down 45 degrees from my shoulder, or depending on how low I am, it could be coming out directly. But for now, I'm blocking kind of almost on the same line as my leg. So if you see like how my leg is oriented, my arm is kind of parallel to it to create just a little bit of very efficient and angular aesthetic. Just for now, because it's a solid block. It looks kind of karate-ish. So from over there, she fires the 7, I hit it out, she fires the 8, I block it, she fires the 9, and I block it. Alternatively, you can also focus on how much you're shuffling forward and back. If we're going slow enough, I can just use my arm. But if we're going a little bit faster, I can also use my footwork to create different types of distance. Steps back, she goes for 7. When she goes for 8, I can crash in, she pulls it back. When she comes up for 9, I can move back. Or, alternatively, she can go for 7, and she can go for 8, I can move back. She can go for 9, I can crash in. I just don't like this one as much because it puts your head in that target range.
Yep.
If I did it more like this, maybe that would be a bit better. Then I could scoop up and come under and do something like that. But you play with it and you choreograph it. I like going back for 8, or in for 8, back for 9. I love to crash that high line strike. I love to come in, move it out of the way, get my disarms. But when it comes to the 9s, I like to move out because then I'm on top for my counter. So those are just options. So let's just work for you all at home. I want you to just do 7, 7, 8, 9. So Abra, you're gonna mirror me. You can follow along with Abra, or you can watch me and do it if you want to flip-flop it in your brain. So for 7, scoop out. For 8, punch forward. For 9, punch down. Notice how I rechamber before I block again. So for 7, out. For 8, forward. For 9, down. And Abra and I are both kind of dropping our weight a little bit into that block for 9. For 7, out. For 8, forward. For 9, down. 2 more times. Out, up, down. Out, up, down. And there you go. If you want to do the cross step, you absolutely can. If you want to do a cross step, you absolutely can. There's all sorts of things to play with. Again, we're really just focusing on the lines. But if you want to think about from this perspective, I'm blocking that vertical line coming down. I'm blocking that vertical line coming up. And that's as simple as it is. So work that at home. Show us your defenses for 7, 8, 9. Again, you can totally work it as a form. You can totally work it into your own patterns. You can do counters off of it too.
You should.
You should.
Know that.
Start playing with those lines. All right, moving on from sticks.
Yes.
I'm not doing push-ups. Are you doing push-ups?
I'm not doing push-ups for your stick.
Don't ever do that in somebody else's class. I'm a clown. But don't you do that. I mean, you can if you want, but if they make you do push-ups, you better do those push-ups.
Just do them anyway.
When you need to,
You always need to.
you can get that set up. Great. All right, we're now going to go into the CQC portion of today's session. These moves are going to be taught by Abra. She is the official badass of the two of us. Hey, you're the one with the security clearance.
That didn't take much at all.
The security guard clearance.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you have security on your resume. She works security at golf.
Anyway, stupid.
All right. I'm going to be the attacker in this scenario. Again, these are moves that you can use to start building on self-defense principles, or you can bring them into choreography. In the case of this, I'm eventually going to put on some gloves.
Yes.
But we're going to go slow at first, just to show you what she's talking about. And then I'm going to throw on the gloves, and she's going to show you its speed. So, Abra, why don't you break down the first technique that we're going to work on?
The first technique, which will be the elbow destruction.
The elbow destruction. So this can come from Panatukan, or it can come from Krav Maga.
I've learned it in both Krav Maga and in Jeet Kune Do, so both from Sean Stoopman, J.B. Yeager, Brian Stoops, various people have done similar things.
Yeah, but you'll find various elbow destructions in various arts. The timing is really what's going to be different, and maybe the mechanic getting into the destruction is what's going to be different, but the principle is going to be the same. Something's going to be coming in at you, and you're going to destroy it with a shield, like we were talking about in one of the original CQC videos. So, Abra, why don't you tell me what to do?
I am going to stand in my fighting stance. Right now I'm going to be orthodox, have my left foot forward. Dylan is going to throw a jab at me. I'm going to bring my elbow up. At the same time, I'm going to guide his hand or his fist into the point of my elbow while I'm bringing it up. Go again. So when he puts on gloves, we'll go a bit harder. But right now, the idea is that I'm just guiding it into my elbow.
Keep in mind, I'm aiming on target, because if I aimed outside of her box, this isn't going to work. No. It has to be going into the center line for her to pass it into the path of destruction. I'm going to step over here so that they can see you do it just a little bit more.
Okay.
So watch, I throw
a jab
at her nose. She moves me into her elbow.
And I can again, of course, move my face off the line and still get this guard up. And to make it even more
destructive?
Destructive or
painful? Solid?
No, solid.
Structural?
There we go. Thank you for words.
For adding structure to the move.
That is a yes. You can also put your hand actually on your head.
So that would be kind of like the Keezy fighting method sort of version of it, although I think you've done it in your other arts as well.
Indeed.
So when she puts it on her head, it's going to be feeling the structure of her spine, back, shoulders, all of her muscles are going to be behind it. Essentially, she's having me crash into the body weight of her body, focused into the point of her elbow, which would suck. If I actually threw full force at that, I could break all the tiny little bones in my hand with one big bone in her elbow.
Which is why he's not going to.
I'm not going to.
Throw your cross. I'm going to do the other.
You want to go into the other move now?
Not the...
Oh, you want? Okay, cool. So I'm going to throw the cross. The cross is going to go right at her nose, and she's going to parry me right into it.
Same idea.
So show them what you're doing just with your parrying hand.
So either way, with my parrying hand, I'm bringing it, I'm cupping it, and I'm guiding it into my elbow. I'm getting it away from my face, and I'm guiding it to my elbow.
Now, can you show that without putting up the other arm, just to show what the move looks like? So does that look a little familiar to everybody out there? Just do that a few times. These are the same parries from the S series. Abra is just guiding something off of her line, and in this case, she's guiding it into the line of her elbow. What you'll also notice is that as she's bringing her elbow up, she's also protecting her face and covering it with that just a little bit by moving her head off the line and pretty much replacing it with the elbow.
So let's say I miss my targeting and you just go for me, but I get him on the forearm or something. Doesn't do much to him, but I'm still covered. So I moved it. Or if I even just missed and I didn't get that parry, either way, I'm still covered.
She's still got something protecting her. She's still guarding that face cage.
Do a jab cross a couple of times.
Jab, cross.
You can switch
jab,
it.
Cross, jab, cross. So now let's show it with the gloves on. So a good reason to wear gloves in these types of striking classes isn't really just to protect their face. Sometimes it is to protect your hands, especially if you're doing Panantukan, Filipino martial arts, or Krav Maga. And that's one of the reasons why I like these Everlast gloves, is because I can still use my fingers. I can still articulate for grabbing and everything like that. And if you're in a self-defense situation, it's going to be really odd if somebody's attacking you with boxing gloves on.
Strong bad.
It'd be a weird strong bad joke. So to go back to where we were at, I'm going to throw a full force punch. Abra, I just want you to catch parry it real quick.
Oh, just catch parry?
Just to show that I'm going to put some energy into it. And now she's going to do her destruction. So I throw that punch, boom.
Yes.
I throw that punch, I throw that punch, and I throw that punch. Now she can actually kind of crash into it, so give me some of that forward energy. That's going to actually screw up my hand a lot more because she's putting her body weight into that. And then once that's hurt, she's going to be able to go into whatever counter she wants to follow up with. So I throw that jab, boom, and she destroys that hand. I throw that cross and she does it on the same side, or the other side.
Other side. I could do it on the same side. I could do it on the same side. It's a bit more awkward.
She's moving it already off the line.
Yeah.
She'd be going into a different counter at that point,
Exactly.
but we're going to get into that in a second anyways.
Yes.
So if I throw the jab, destruction. I throw the cross, destruction. Also notice how when I'm training this for her, I'm not throwing it and holding it out. I might also hit and retract, hit and retract. Hit and retract, hit and retract. If you want to make this even an extra level layer of safe, you can put elbow pads on them. Keezy Fighting Method does that a lot when they're practicing.
And Muay Thai, they also do have elbow pads too for making contact with elbows.
Good to know. All right, you want to talk about the second move?
Sure, we can talk about the second kind of destructive move. Again, trained it in Krav Maga and JKD. It's a gunting. It's a scissor motion, essentially.
The gunting is usually a Southeast Asian martial arts word from either Silat or Filipino martial arts.
Yes.
And when it means scissor, that means that her arms are at some point going to cross each other's lines. So we're going to start this one just on the cross rather than doing it on the jab.
Okay.
So just for everybody at home, if you're blocking the jab,
How do you want me to do it?
I want you to do the destruction. So just say the destruction for the jab just for now. So you're destructing with your lead elbow. When that cross comes in from the rear, you're going to parry it off the line and go for the gunting. So I fire that cross and Abra's going to break down the technique.
So right now I'm doing the inside parry, and I'm hitting him on the underside of his arm, and I'm trying to get that knuckle there to hit the ulnar nerve. And even if I miss it, it can still do a little bit of damage, but the idea is I'm trying to aim for this thing.
Do it again, and now slowly let's break it down. So I throw that cross, she parries it, and she hits. So even slower. I throw that cross, she parries it, and she hits. It should have a beat of simultaneity, but if you're practicing it, you can practice it with a little 1-2 rhythm. I throw that cross, 1, 2. I throw that cross, 1, 2. When that fist comes in, she's moving it off the line, her head's moving, and her fist is coming up to replace the line and take me out underneath.
Now you will notice I'm going inside his line, so I want to make sure that I still have some kind of defense here. I want my shoulder up. I want to have my head protected in some way. And I don't want to stay there too long unless I'm going to throw some other kind of combo or combative.
One thing that I want to make very clear about that is that she's already setting herself up with another defense. When she blocks this cross and we hold right there, because her elbow's there, if I was to throw this hook or another punch or an overhand, she can easily bring her other hand up and just cover and protect and maybe go into another counter of some sort or jump into a clinch, whatever. The point is that she's not keeping that hand down after she moves us out of the line, because now I'm just going to get her anyways. It's like, that sucks for me, that's going to suck more for her. So she's already setting herself up to be protected. Now it would be really nice if I had some sort of guard right here, but unfortunately I don't.
I will good leg.
So now let's bust out some reps. You're going to do the jab defense, so just show it in the air. Jab, jab. Be a little bit more animated. Throw your body weight behind it. It's okay. Loosen up. Jab, jab, jab. So do that into the camera just so that they can see exactly what you're doing. Jab, 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 and jab. So that's all it is. You're just coming back the hair, popping their fist into your elbow. If you want to, you can skate off your own elbow just a little bit, just to kind of get the feeling of it. Kempo people, some Silat people, they love to do the self-slapping thing.
I mean, and it's also like conditioning and building that up.
There is that little bit of that too, that as well, if you have the intent for it. If you're just doing it without thinking about it, you're not really doing anything except rattling your head. But you can drop your whole weight into it. If Abra was to slowly throw that jab at me, I could drop my weight into it because I'm shorter than her. And by dropping, I'm taller than her. By dropping, I'm also setting myself up now to go into some sort of shoot and take her down to the ground. So you want to practice this with levels. If Abra was throwing that straight up at my face, and I just stayed up here, I might hurt her hand, but now my entire high line is protected, my low line is closed. So when I'm doing this move to a shorter opponent, I want to drop down into their low line so that they can't really counter into this line. Maybe she could try and go for like a kick to my leg, but I'm already over her and I can barrel her over. And that's kind of more from the Keezy perspective in my opinion. All right?
Yeah.
So now from home, show them the cross, the gunting.
Move your head off the line, other hand is coming up, looking underneath that arm.
So I'm going to call out cross, and you're going to follow along with Abra. Ready? Cross, 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 cross. 5 more. Cross, 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 and cross. All right? So you're going to work the jab cross off of us. Try and just shadow Abra and imagine someone in my position is doing the attack. All right? So I'm going to fire the jab. She destroys. I'm going to fire the cross. She guntings. Jab, cross. Jab, cross. Jab, cross.
And ow! Sorry.
No.
You'll notice also because I am shorter, I have to cover distance when I'm doing my gunting.
Yeah, especially if the opponent's all the way out here, they have to enter into space. So we could be in the situation where we're together, be a little bit closer. She starts walking backwards. I have to walk in to throw that punch. Boom, she gets that destruction. Now she's getting in. And she's actually able to strike all the way up into my bicep, which is really going to like deaden the power of this arm. And now she's able to throw on whatever counter she wants. Why don't you just turn it into a knee?
You want to go knee again?
To the body, yeah. So destruction, cross, knee. Set up right there. You can even go into that clinch if you want. Destruction, cross, knee. So let's just do this a few times for everybody at home.
And I am, because it's a safe knee, I'm hitting him with my thigh, not my actual knee right now.
And if you don't want to go into the knee right now, just do the jab and the cross. So rep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. 2. 3. I'm just laughing. 4. And 5.
He's fine. He's fine. He's acting.
For your pleasure at home. Your Schadenfreude. All right, well, that's going to be it for today's session. We got through a whole lot today. Action flow, kickboxing from the striking arts, Saga 9 weapons with more of the stick, and, ow, my bicep. How am I going to play Doom now?
He'll be okay.
All right. We're going to go ahead and take some questions and answers, comments and criticisms, feedback, whatever you'd like. We're going to bring the computer over here, and we're going to wrap it up. If you have any questions about your own training, or if you want to give us any feedback about stuff you're interested in, let us know in the comments.
You guys got anything over there? Because I got a bunch of eyes, but I'm some lights.
No, people have just been training, I think.
Yeah, we got
Which is
lots
good
of
for
people
you at home.
joining.
Oh my bicep.
Somebody likes to be dramatic.
Yes, that's what they pay me for.
Do
to
they?
have the world's most punchable face.
Do they pay you right now?
Yeah, I'm still getting residuals. I'm going to get my 2-cent residual from the tick soon.
Yeah, you do have very much of a face.
2 cents. That's the first residual I'm getting from that show.
Anyway, talk to us. Tell us how you liked this session if you liked it. Tell us how you hated it if you hated it. Tell us what you're doing, how you're training at home. All of the things.
Tell us about your ecstatic truth. That one was for Brett. Brett's really mad at me now. He regrets ever telling me about Werner Herzog.
You would have found out eventually.
It's really silent out here. I like him, Jack Reacher. You'll notice a lot of those style techniques actually were very similar to what Tom Cruise does in Jack Reacher. His background for those movies was defense lab or kizzy fighting method, depending on who you ask. But it was a lot of that head cover counter with the elbow sort of technique work. I trained in kizzy fighting method for over 2 years. I got my white grade glove wristband thing from it. And I got to train under Justo Dieguez a couple of times, the founder of KFM. I really, really like that art. You can either go through KFM now, Kizzy World on the internet. You can find a lot of Justo Dieguez's videos on YouTube, or you can go to Andy Norman's Defense Lab and do what they do. I believe Liam Neeson speaks very highly of them. So
They do, on YouTube, they have at least all of their white grade up.
from the old KFM
On
videos.
KFM. I know because I've dabbled a little bit in that.
It's a lot of fun, but we teach our own mix of things right
Yes,
now.
we do. We've got a comment.
Adriano, that roll on the floor is a bit too much for me, but I could follow the rest. Totally cool. You're going to get there if you keep practicing, and if it's not your bag, you don't have to do it.
No one's forcing.
No one's forcing you. If you want to get kicked around and roll up, hey, I mean, at least you're watching us do this stuff, so maybe it'll help you. We know you're a cartoonist and comic book illustrator, so maybe seeing what we're doing will help you kind of learn how these things flow.
You can illustrate us.
Totally illustrate. Don't illustrate us. Oh, it's gonna be horrible. Any other comments, feedback, critique, or well, I mean, we'd love some compliments. I mean,
we would.
We're doing this for free. It'd be nice if you all just like lathered us with nice words. Adriano, I just think that I need to build it. Absolutely. I don't know, Adriano, if you were here for sessions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But I know sessions at least 1, 2, and 3 have elements that can help you build up to some of those moves. And again, if you'd ever like to just work with me personally, hit me up and maybe we can do a virtual training session. We can talk about some body mechanics.
Oh.
Dylan, Abra was kicking your ass. Yes.
He sometimes kicks mine.
No.
Yeah.
I don't like fighting her.
There are times, and it's gonna happen.
Usually if it ends up being like it goes to the ground, I just literally like put all my weight on her and be like, what are you gonna do?
And usually I end up doing something.
She ends up doing something because she lifts more weight than me.
No, it's also because like
You could totally outbench me at this point.
I am.
You could bench me.
Maybe
All right.
later.
Couple more minutes. It's not even quite 8 o'clock yet, but we want to see if anybody's got any last minute things to say. Phenomena. Okay, we're not going there today. All right, cool. Keep typing away. If you're typing anything, I'll get on a little pitch spiel, as it were. We're really excited to have you all here for tonight's session. This one was pretty rapid fire. We put a lot of content in really quickly. We're finishing up building the basics of the S-Series and the SAGA 9 weapons template for the stick. The basics, attacking and defense, on both pieces of curriculum. So once you have these down, and we can all get back to partnering with people, once you do that, you'll be able to actually actively engage with another partner to create sequences where you're doing exchanges. And we'll definitely be going through more of those in the next few videos, showing how you can start adapting this to either choreography or flow drill work, just building up your ability to work with a partner. That's really where this can all go. Sadly, right now, many of us have to do it at home, possibly without a partner. But as long as you're building up the mechanics, I promise you, once you work with another human being, your body is going to be set up in ways where it's going to be able to dynamically move with them as they move. There is value in self-training.
Yes.
Footwork has to be developed on your own time and then experimented with a partner. If you only do it with a partner, you're going to just end up matching with their rhythm anyways. You need to be really comfortable on your own 2 feet. Use that imagination. Start shadow boxing. Visualize. Do your carenzas. Check out my shadow boxing video. Do rounds like that. You can do them with moves from the S-Series. You can do them with the SAGA 9 weapons template. I just put it out there the way that I put it out there because that was what I was doing on that day, and I felt it covered a good amount of options for shadow boxing rounds. Plus, it will really work your cardio, and we all definitely need cardio right now. Lastly, let's just wrap this up talking about what we're trying to do here. These videos are free. They're on YouTube, uploaded in 720p glorious HD for everyone to peruse. We were never going to give out this content as free as we are right now, but the world changed, so we did too. And we really just wanted to connect with everybody. So that's why we started doing this. We had the opportunity to use our basement here in Brooklyn as a set. Brett, Abra, and I built it up. We put on some lights, we put on some audio, and we're putting on a show. This has become kind of more or less our full-time jobs. If you want to support us, the first thing you can do is share our content, like our content, put our content out there to other people, let them know what's happening.
Let them know what's happening. And
you seemed like you were about to say something.
I wasn't, but I can.
You can.
I can. And of course, again, if you do want to support us monetarily in any way, shape, or form, you can send in.
Adriano just reviewed the page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you,
So Adriano, the
You're
first
awesome.
person
You're awesome.
who actively did what we asked and reviewed us on our Facebook page. Thank you. You rock.
You
That
do.
is worth almost as much as gold. Actual gold would be really great too. Please do not
Venmo.
delete that review.
Venmo.
No. Wait. We will accept donations if you want to help us pay the rent, which our landlords are apparently going, hey, you still have to pay this month. We have to pay, so you have to pay. And we're
You don't have to.
Oh, you should pay.
Yeah. Well.
But that's aside the point. go ahead, check us out on Facebook, do as Adriano just did, and send us a review on our Facebook page. Like and share the content. Go on our YouTube. Our YouTube has all the content uploaded, lots of HD, lots of timestamps, lots of ways for you to actively search and figure out what content you want to develop from us in our videos, what pieces of curriculum you want to get better at.
Aww.
Aww.
Did you read what he said? We'll say it out loud. He said, yeah, I just wanted to get it right, so I spent a whole week revising the text. That's so sweet.
Yeah, awesome.
To read it.
Yeah, it's good. We're just going to have to like screen cap that and share it to everybody and make them feel guilty about not doing it yet.
Yes.
Anyways, that's it pretty much for today's show. We're really grateful to get to share all this with you. Thank you for participating. Again, as Abra said, there's a Venmo, there's a YouTube, there's an Instagram, there's a Facebook page. Send us photos and videos of you training if you're playing with this curriculum. Show us what you got, and we'll be happy to share it with the world so that we can keep inspiring other people to inspire other people. Because that's what this is about.
To inspire other people.
Yeah, this is the ladder. It's the chain, like Fleetwood Mac.
And it's also pay it forward.
You gotta learn how to sing the chain. I don't know how to sing the chain.
I have the song.
It's in Guardians.
What's tomorrow's schedule?
Oh, and tomorrow's schedule. There is no morning routine video tomorrow. If you're part of the morning routine club, you are on your own. So please be sure to get your morning routine on in your own way, at your own leisure.
But there will be conditioning
At 1 p.m.
At 1 p.m.
Abra's Hero Conditioning. Get in your best heroic shape. And all that means is be your own hero and become the best you that you believe you can be. That we believe you can be. That you can be. Then after that, Thursday we go back on to the normal schedule. I got the 9 a.m. shift. We got the 7 p.m. skill development session. And then Friday, blah, 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 into eternity. Maybe we'll make a little image to put out there that's a calendar of our classes because we are definitely going until the end of April.
Yes.
Because we have nowhere else to go until the end of April.
Yes.
Especially Brett, who's losing his mind. All right, that's it for today. We will see you all tomorrow for Abra's Hero Conditioning, and then again on Thursday for the regular shows. Take care, have a great night, kick some butt, and let us know how you're doing. Bye-bye for now.
Stay classy, San Francisco.
What?